So as you probably already know, I'm Hans.
And I'm Raul.
And I'm Byron.
And we are Three Men and a Movie. This is our 7th episode. Today we're going to talk about 13 Reasons Why you should be watching 13 Reasons Why. If you're not familiar, 13 Reasons Why is a series on Netflix. The main character in the series, Hannah, leaves behind cassette tapes explaining why she decided to commit suicide. And so to kind of go over the background of where the series came from, Ro?
It started off with a novel that got some critical acclaim, and it was very popular in the teen scene and then had some widespread success. Production company came in, tried to do the adaptation to film initially, and they were going to do a film that it allowed, the way that the novel was written, it allowed for it to be more of a movie because everything happened in a shorter span of time. But when producers got involved, they decided that they might be able to go a little bit more in depth if they stretch that out to a series with different episodes.
Yeah, and then with each character, it allows for more highlight, because then each episode is actually each tape. So each side, it's 13 tapes. 13, well, it's like 7 sides.
7 tapes.
Yeah, 7 tapes. So it's 13 sides altogether. So pretty much each side was highlighted a certain character that influenced her pretty much to killing herself, unfortunately.
And I don't know about you guys, for me personally, when I first heard about the series, my wife Francine was trying to get me to watch it, and my initial response is, why would I want to watch something about somebody that commits suicide? That didn't sound like something that would be interesting to watch or that I would want to get invested in. And of course, happy wife, happy life. I went ahead and watched the episodes with her, and as I was watching the 2nd episode and the 3rd episode, I was the one telling her, hey, when are we going to watch the next episode? So it is, even though it is a very serious topic, they do a great job of captivating the audience and presenting it in a really palatable way.
In terms of story, it flows very easily, and the transitions are so smooth that because it's Netflix, and for those of us who use Netflix on a regular basis, we know that at the end of one episode of whatever series you're watching, it skips into the next one. Mm-hmm. But for this one, if you watch the whole season in one full linear run, it's perfectly fine. There is no real lag on the show. They connect real easy. They flow from one to the next, even though they have different directors for a lot of the different episodes. And some of their visions overlap, yet flow and mesh really good.
And I know, in the series you can kind of look back and you can kind of see yourself in some of the episodes. I know for me, the main character, Clay, is very socially awkward in high school, is missing all of the cues that he's getting from girls, and I really see a lot of myself in Clay from myself in high school.
Me too.
I see you again. Some things don't change.
and also the other characters, because in high school there's so many different kind of cliques and different type of people that you run into. So you kind of see their little troubles that they're going through in their own individual lives, and the part they play in Hannah's story. Like they have their own thing to take care of, but it also corresponds with what Hannah's doing. So it's either like you help somebody or you help yourself.
And what I really enjoy is the stereotypes aren't so ingrained within the episode. So you have the cool guys and the jocks, but you also have each of their individual stories of what's going on with them personally. They're not all just like a carbon copy of each other, which I really enjoyed.
They're not all classic archetypes of these characters. They all have multiple dimensions that you wouldn't expect from your usual character that plays the jock role or the popular kid role or the nerdy kid role. They all kind of have personal character traits that are interchangeable within each description of those kind of archetypes, which is well done within the show and why I think it resonates with a large audience.
And there's a lot of character growth within some of the characters. Like Clay, for example, starts out super awkward, and then as he's kind of identifying himself and he's kind of getting really involved with the tapes and with what's going on, he really starts to take a stand and really starts to gain some strength and starts to figure some things out, and I really enjoyed that character development for him.
Yeah, the show has like a nostalgic feel to a throwback to the 80s, right? The teen movies that we would get in the 80s. It has some kind of connection to that. The biggest difference is that in those 80s teen movies, the characters really wouldn't evolve or grow at all. There is no beginning, middle, end. It's this character, and then something great happens for him or her at the end, and then that's it. And in this show, they kind of do away with that and let the characters evolve on their own, which is a great thing.
Yeah, it gives you like an emotional roller coaster kind of thing. You know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of episodes hit harder than others, especially as you get further into the episodes. The last probably 4 episodes is like, oh my god, like you really don't want to like look away. You want to sit there and watch them all the way through. I think when I seen like 7 episodes. I think in my first sitting. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Now the show is a good show, and at least the 3 of us really enjoy it and really like it. And most of the people that you'll talk to, I guess, will have something positive to say about the show. But there's definitely the other side of the spectrum, because the topic and the show itself is sort of a polarizing type of show, where some people really love it and other people really dislike it. And a lot of the reasoning behind that is some of the episodes can be very passionate and heartfelt and emotional, and some people feel that it might be a little bit over the dramatized or melodramatic. In other words, and so for some people who that doesn't connect with them or it doesn't resonate with them, they're going to have that general dislike and even disgust at what they're seeing, because they feel that it's unreal.
Yeah, but the thing I liked about that is because like not every case is the same. Like for all of us, we all went through high school and stuff like that. We may think of it one way, but there is some of those people that it goes that far. It does go over the top like that. So it was pretty much going over both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah. In the topic of bullying, which also sort of gets discussed, not in a specific pointed out kind of way, but there's definitely some bullying going on within the show.
I think it's a lot of bullying. It's like more cyberbullying bullying than anything. Right. That's something that us 3 didn't really go through in high school, because phones were barely coming around. Cell phones, I think I barely got my Nokia like in 11th grade or something like that. It barely turned the color too. It was crazy.
I just got my Nokia this week.
Oh, see, look at that. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that's like I think that's the big thing, is everybody's on their phones all day. I'm a track coach. He's a teacher. He works with a lot of people. Like everybody's on their phones, and then kids are like on their phones. I mean, people like, I'm a track coach, and kids run with their phones. It's like, why are you doing that? God. So like seeing that in the show like really puts it into modern terms, like, because like one picture could like for us like whatever, but for kids like that's their whole reputation. Yeah. So it really goes over that, and the effects that kids feel about stuff like that,
and how quickly things can spread.
And how quickly,
Because if we had a picture of someone in high school, I mean, it was pretty limited to the 20 people I could physically show the picture
circle.
to.
Yeah, your small circle.
It can text out to the entire student body in
and
a matter of minutes.
You walk down the street and somebody will see that and laugh at you, like, oh, where did I come from? I don't know this guy. So
the great thing about the show also is that there's the characters who are being the aggressors, I guess we can say that, directly, distinctly, without any doubt in our mind as the viewer. We know there's 2 or 3 characters that are definite aggressors. And then there's the definite victim, which we know from the start of the show, so there's no spoiler there. Hannah, who is the one who commits suicide from the beginning of the show, we know this. But then there's all those people in between who are kind of like a bystander, and they just watch the stuff going on when they could have had, maybe some effect on the outcome of the story itself if they would have done something or said something. And so I like the fact that they mention those people in between. Not just the aggressors, not just the victims, but everyone in between who commits little tiny microaggressions throughout the story.
Yeah, because they went to parents, even went to like the counselor. Like it was spread between everybody. Everybody had their chance to find the signs and find the hints and stuff, but everybody failed.
And I think it addresses very real issues like counselors having way too many students to deal with, to where even when they see signs of things, they're almost jumping to something before they can even address what they've just seen happen. And so I think it addresses really very real issues like that, like cyberbullying. It attacks a lot of issues, all just encompassing in this one series.
Yeah, so I can see definitely how teenagers who are living through similar type of situations can connect with the show, but we're all grown men, and whether we have a connection with high school or schooling in general or not, we can still see that there are very serious topics that need to be addressed, need to be discussed, and the show does a really good job about it.
This has been a little different take on an episode from us. You probably didn't hear me giggle once during this episode, and that's very unusual.
Yeah,
and
very unusual.
you know, we like to take on some serious topics as well, and we hope you've enjoyed what you've seen today.
So thank you again for tuning in to this week's 3 Men in a Movie / TV episode. Tune in.